Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it raw. The photograph is this. Okay. So in the photograph, you have something in your ear. So
I was listening to a podcast,
okay.
So I had...
is this photo in Hong Kong?
This photo is actually... in March, I was in Poland.
Oh, okay.
So I took it in Poland.
Okay. So you're holding up the camera, you're making a selfie. In the photograph that dominates the image is your face and a horse that is this a horse for actual riding or is it a horse for a parade or something? Because the horse looks like it's very decorated, I guess.
So basically, this horse, it's actually a quite long story, but I will try to make it short. So her name is Kariolka, and that's a horse. When I was 12, I was doing show jumping competition on her. So between 12 and 14, I never bought her, but I was renting or she was mine basically for 2 years.
Oh wow!
And every time when I'm going to Poland, I'm going to visit her, and now she's a
lady.
grandma. She's I think she's now 27, so it's for horse age. It's already really like she's a grandma. So I love to just clean her, and then sometimes I would just put saddle on her and just do a small walk, but something which would be pleasant for her. So just to spend time with her and enjoy it, and then make sure that she's getting extra carrots and apples and everything what she loves. And every time I'm around horses, I always have the smile. Like I just cannot stop smiling. No matter what, like even if it's something really really bad happen, horses making me happy. And
what city in Poland?
It's a very small city called Ostrów Wielkopolski.
Okay.
It's also hard to
Ostrów
pronounce.
Wielkopolski?
Yes, so it's close? Somewhere in between Warsaw, the capital, Wrocław, and Poznań. So it's like kind of central Poland. Okay. And it's 80,000 people city. Okay. And around it's like 16 stables. So when you are young, the one thing which you can do is to do
horseback riding.
Horseback riding.
Nice.
So that was of course my choice. But you were asking at the beginning when I was able to ride, right? Mm-hmm. And I started quite early. Even earlier than that, I wanted to ride horses. Okay. I couldn't even walk. Right. And I was telling my mom, horse. And she had to, every morning, I didn't want to eat breakfast until she would drag me to our neighbors, which like 2 kilometers away. Oh, wow. To see horses. And then I was like looking at the horses. I was like, okay, cool, we can go home and eat. And otherwise I would just cry. Sweet. From the beginning of my life, animals, and especially horses, they were just somewhere in my DNA. Yeah. Probably I was a horse in my previous life or something, because I this way. And
Okay, so this week we had to put one of our dogs down.
Oh no.
Yeah. So she was an old lady. She's 17 years old, and basically, I mean, she was fixed, so she wasn't the real grandmother, but she was the old lady of the house, kind of moving around. And then we have some hammering on top. You've been talking too long.
Tell me about that.
No. That's so yes, my dog. We had to put her down because she was so old. And she was very end of life. She was so out of it. So, but
I'm so sorry. Seriously, I think. Yeah.
I know. But I'm connecting this to the image and the presence that I forget her name, the dog, the horse's name. What's the horse's name?
Kariolka. It's quite hard. Sorry.
Kariolka. Am I messing it up? Is it not Kariolka?
No, it's okay.
So what does Kariolka mean?
No, it doesn't mean actually anything. Okay. It's just the name. So in Poland, so her mom. So when I started riding, I actually ride on her mom. Yeah. And then Kariolka was born, and in one moment I switched to her. Okay. So the horse's name if the mom it's Karina, so starting from K,
Okay.
the daughter needs to have the first letter. It needs to be K as well.
Okay.
Not sure if that's like around the world or it's just in Poland. Probably it's international actually.
Okay.
So it's like a line. So you always need to come up with a name.
Okay.
On K,
Yeah.
and the entire stable because it's just a Kariolka, Karina, something, you know, and it's, so it's actually a name which doesn't mean anything.
Sure. So let's. I love that now we're talking about horses and the presence of okay. So when I do ask a question, it's always impossible. Because sometimes I'll just talk and the person's like, "Is there a question?" I don't know, but here's a question for you. Make a connection between being on stage, talking about art and artists, being with a client, finding that thing that gives them the spark, being on the waterfront and running and not caring whether it's hot and humid and crazy hot in Hong Kong, and standing next to Kariolka now, and across all of that is your life, is you, right? So talk about how all of those are tied. Because when you put the photographs together, your subconscious said, these are together. This is what I'm going to talk about. So why did you do that?
It's a very good question. It's very, very well done. Very well done. So, across of that, I would say, so you asked me what is the connection, right? And I would say that the connection is the fact, it's something which I actually wanted to show in my next exhibition, which I'm preparing. So what I didn't mention is that I also curating shows. So for example, the first picture, the one on stage, I was there as a curator. So I was curating the exhibition, which mean if you are not interested in art, it's that I'm basically creating a team and then trying to get artworks which will fit to the team, or it will be a solo exhibition of one artist or multiple artists. And my next show is actually about being a strong woman in 21st century and what this means.
Right.
And in our life, like usually, like you need to say that, I am a doctor, or I am a consultant, or
Mota.
I am a Mota, right?
A doctor or a cyclist,
And on this exhibition, I wanted to show artists who are also mothers,
right?
Who are also, I don't know, maybe they are also models, they are athletes, and they have many different roles in life.
Sure.
And none of the role is more important.
Right.
Moral role of being a wife, it's not more important than being an entrepreneur for me. It's actually equal, or even, I don't know, I mean, it really depends on the day.
But it's you.
Well. But it's me. And it's what I want to show is that we can be, like, we can diversify. Like, we don't need to be just, she is this.
One thing,
One thing. I wanted to showcase that you can have very colorful life and do many different things, and one thing doesn't need to be worse than another. Like, you don't need to give up your career because you have a baby. But it doesn't mean that you are a bad mother. And the role of the mother is extremely important as well.
Sure.
So this is what I want to show in the show, and I think because I was working on this show for quite a long time and finding the artists who are actually fitting to this team. I think once I was like thinking about the picture, also like I didn't think it's something which I came up once you asked the question. Is that I actually wanted to show a completely different person.
Right.
So art, it's the professional side of me. But there's so many different passions which are equally important in my life, like the love for animals, love for my husband, love for my cats, and running. It's something which I cannot just cancel one of them.
No, of course.
It's just something which will stay forever with me.
No, of course. Look, I think it's amazing, these conversations, where they go. I have no idea how we got here. Natalia, thank you so much. This is really cool. This is really It's great. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. No, thank you so much. It was so great to meet you. And now I usually asking questions.
Right.
So now I feel like it's just I need to ask some questions to you. Like,
Okay, let me turn this off then. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Cheers.
Wow. So is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it raw.